What's that, y'all CP time?
The secret's out.
Welcome to probably the most esteemed and the best panel that you're going to.
I beg your pardon.
That's Reverend Rod Tuff, our second vice president of the New Jersey Black Issues Convention. Okay, we'll be second this year, maybe next year. Welcome to, again, a most esteemed panel of experts in their fields. We have, again, I think, probably the best panel that you're going to hear from at this two-day convention. Decriminalizing the black man, making progress by reframing and how to take some action. As we know, those of us who work in the criminal justice system, who teach criminal justice courses, understand that the criminal justice system is a very, very complex system. And these experts, when they talk about decriminalizing it for our young people, have experience and knowledge and expertise in how to do that. We have to get our young people to understand, and since this is Education Day, it's too bad that the young people couldn't come to this session, but the criminal justice system, for the most part, has not been friendly, as we all know, to persons of color in this country or anywhere in the world.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Dr. Stephanie Aisha Stepway Johnson, and I am the Dean of Liberal Arts at Essex County College in Newark, New Jersey. And I thank New Jersey BIC Chairwoman Elise Evans for overseeing New Jersey BIC and its member organizations. And I thank organizers John Smith, Bessie White, and Jerry Harris, as well as consultant Clyde Allen for organizing this conference. In addition, I acknowledge Giles Schiff for convening this panel. I started coming to New Jersey BIC in the 1980s with my mother, Reverend Ella Carmina Stepway Johnson, who, before she retired, she used to work for attorneys Sheldon Ross and Maurice Strickland. And I remember the late Donald Kofi Tucker, assemblyman and Newark Municipal Council member, who chaired New Jersey BIC during those years when I first attended. New Jersey BIC is the living branch of the National Black Political Convention that was held in Gary, Indiana in 1972 and challenged other states to hold annual black conventions. And as it has been mentioned before, New Jersey BIC is the only state Black Issues Convention that is still being held, and we celebrate its 31st year.
And you'll be able to take those words and take those ideas back to your communities, to your students, to your associates, and to your friends and families. First of all, globalization. How many of you have heard the word globalization? Just raise your hands. Great, great. What does it mean to you? Now, we keep talking about this global-based economy. We hear about the global-based economy being part of a knowledge-based economy. But what does that mean to you personally? How does globalization impact your life? How does it impact the lives of your family members? How does it impact our nation? How does it impact us with regards to the jobs that we have to perform in life? These are very important questions that we need to begin to think about. We need to think about things a little bit differently. So what I want us to do, first of all, is to begin to develop a new mindset. I
countries, different Asian countries. Generally, our media does not, or I should say, our media tends to concentrate on corruption in government in countries outside of the United States, in Latin America, and in Asia. But the perception also goes to the perception and the criminalization perception that is imposed on Black men in the United States and has been transported all over the world. So I just wanted to make that connection. My presentation is primarily about the power we all have and how to use it. First, this is not new. We've been using our power before chattel slavery, because we existed before chattel slavery, to develop books. And I understand we recently found books in South Africa in caves that were 10,000 years old. We've used our power to create science, medicine, astronomy, and on and on. However, after chattel slavery, we fought for freedom and our humanity. However, two things happened that have taken us off our game. First, heroin, and then later, crack cocaine.
We are founded with the purpose of working to ensure that African Americans and other people of color are not denied opportunities because of their race or because of discrimination. And that's a fight that we continue to do this day. And one of the big issues that we work on, that I think permeates throughout all the work we do, is the way in which our society has criminalized African Americans. And I would say that this panel is about men, and that's a big issue, but this is the issue that affects African American women as well. If you look at the rates of incarceration of Black women over the last several decades, they've grown exponentially. And so this is an issue that affects all members of the Black community. It affects other communities of color. I will restrict my comments to men today, but if you add women, I think I would say the same thing. And so, when we think about how our society criminalizes Black people, I want to kind of walk through how we see that play out in the work that we do. We spend a lot of time with my colleagues and I work in the criminal justice area. And the war on drugs, as others have talked about, is the perfect example of how our society has criminalized Black people. Up until last year or 2 years ago, there was a huge difference in how people were punished if they were convicted of having crack, which is associated with Black people, versus powder cocaine. The difference.
I'm worried about that if she's convicted of this crime, and the courts are going to presume that the law enforcement officer, he has the advantage. And if she's convicted of that, now she won't be able to get her license. Actually, now she's being held up from her student teaching because of this incident. So, we have to ask ourselves, and this is what we decided in Noble. That's why you're going to see us. Some people will say, well, why is a cop involved in this matter in dealing with decriminalization? Not only have I spent 26 years in law enforcement, but I also grew up in a public housing project in an underserved community. So I